Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alex Petrescu. This is already the third video for my finance and accounting education channel that I will post on YouTube. This video is going to focus on mainly two topics. The first one would be the presentation of my new course, which is already available on Udemy and Patreon. As I have previously explained, Udemy is a pay-per-course platform on which you can buy my courses and get access to them. Patreon is more of a subscription service. There you will have access to all the courses that I'm releasing. So far there are only two, but of course there will be more in time. The first course is that I'm presenting from Excel is an introductory one. The second one, of course, is an advanced one. The introductory course of Excel is, let's say, the first idea that came to me when preparing the curricula. Basically, what I have to, what I want to prepare and to present to you in the following months and years. And the second topic which we will touch in this video will be a discussion, an analysis about cryptocurrencies. Of course, many of you, when they hear cryptocurrencies, think about Bitcoin. That is because we are every day almost bombarded with information and news about this specific currency, and that's why maybe you identify cryptocurrencies with Bitcoin, but there are more of them. And most importantly, we will talk about the technology which is behind the cryptocurrencies, which is called the blockchain technology. And this will be the two topics which I intend to have presented in this short video today. Now let's start with Excel 101. So it's an introductory course for the people that never worked with Excel, or they worked a little bit but they never got past a certain point with their knowledge and experience to really use it at more potential than a very basic beginner level. On Udemy there is already, so the courses are already available on Udemy since it's pay per course. You have a quiz. Basically it has 5 questions. The questions are from the topics which I'm discussing in this introductory course. If you answer correctly to them, of course, I encourage you to move to the advanced version of this course, and because that means you have already the knowledge and you don't need to do the introductory course anymore. You can use and try not to cheat, to look at the answers. There are the answers also there. Try not to use Google, but what I recommend to you is just open an Excel instance and try to answer to those questions based on Excel. Excel is not a theoretical tool, and it's normal when you have questions about a software program. It doesn't matter what software exactly. It's normal that you can help yourself with the software. It's important for me that you have the experience, you know where to go in the Excel and where to find the correct answers for these questions. Now, of course, in my previous experience, I have only or mostly met people that didn't know Excel, and they accepted and they publicly said that they don't know Excel. I think it would be very interesting to find somebody that thinks he knows Excel or she knows Excel, takes this quiz and fails it, because it would be a very big surprise for that person to find out that really their level is not that high as they think in Excel. Now moving to the content, so basically the table of contents, the approach, what topics I'm going to talk in this course. The first one is what is Excel, so a little bit of an introduction about the Microsoft Office package, what is the primary purpose of Excel, some other purposes and ways I have seen it used during my experience, professions, and for which Excel might be very appropriate and very useful, professions for which it might not be that useful. And once we are done with these topics of general introduction about what is Excel, we will move to basic concepts, talking about files, sheets, cells, formulas, references, and links. Once we are done with these topics, we move to the drag and drop. Drag and drop is a very simple technique that you use to spread information. Can be values, but can also be formulas, left, right, bottom and up of the Excel as you may need it. Then we will talk about what language. Excel comes with localization packages for most of the countries, and unfortunately people that don't really know Excel will think that using it in a certain language is fundamental. I will explain you why that is not really so. I will show you a few tips and tricks how to use it in a different language. And my hope is, of course, if you ever find yourself in the position of using Excel in a different language than you used it in before, to be able to very quickly switch to the new language and make it look as the language is absolutely not relevant as it actually is in using Excel. Then we will talk about collaborative work. If you have a file, let's say a budget, or it can be any other file, which cannot be accessed by multiple colleagues in a sequence, but it needs to be accessed in the same time, change different sheets or different portions of one sheet and so on. Excel offers this opportunity of having two or even more people work in the same time on an Excel file, provided that the Excel file is saved somewhere where they all have with their computers access to it. And basically this is this collaborative work that I'm talking about. Then we will talk about visualization options. The idea is how to see the information better. There are several views, how to make it look bigger, look smaller, and so on and so forth. And then we have at the end 2 points which contain, as I'm saying also in the course, 80 to 90% of the information from this course. We have the menus and tools, of course, menus, submenus, tools, and options. I will go through them from left to right. I will try to explain what is each and every one of them doing, but I will also tell you or mention that some of them don't find so natively, so that they are there in Excel, they don't really find their pointer, they are not so useful, or they maybe should not be there at all. I will also tell you about some that I have never used, or I have used them so rarely that they are not really worth mentioning. Then we will go to basic functions. They are grouped in bundles, let's say so. Just as in with menus and tools, basic functions, based on your background or on what you are using Excel for, your creativity, of course, and your innovation abilities. Some functions you might find that they are very useful for you. Some functions are not really that useful. You will probably never use them, or only once or twice, and things like this. However, you should not rely, you should try to, as with menus and tools, but also with basic functions, just go through them, try to read a little bit about them. Maybe one word will stick in your head, and later when you need a quick function or a quick functionality or a solution to base yourself for a solution, it will come back to you in the future. And the idea is not to rely 100% on my past experience, on my knowledge, on my presentation, and to limit yourself in using Excel, but to try to, if possible and if needed also, to try to go a little bit farther. And if you can innovate a little bit and create new templates, create new formulas, new approaches, it would be, for me, it would be very good for me, and I would feel very good if you, maybe in the future, you let me know that, hey, I have done this and you didn't teach that, but I have done this in this way, and it will make me feel like basically what I'm trying to say here and teach you is helping you even a little bit farther than the words themselves that I'm saying here. Now that we are done with the Excel 101, so the introduction to the Excel, we are going to talk a little bit, as promised, about the cryptocurrencies, mainly about Bitcoin, but also about others, and also about the blockchain technology. We are now moving to the second topic of the video, talking a little bit about the cryptocurrencies and the blockchain technology. When we talk about cryptocurrencies, of course, we think about Bitcoin because it's the biggest one and it gets the most advertising and it's appearing in the news more often than not. There are others like Ethereum. Now, because of Elon Musk and Tesla, people found out that this Dogecoin exists, which is supposed to be a joke, but it's not really that much of a joke. And now let's dig in and talk about this hocus pocus that are the cryptocurrencies. First, I want to start with some definitions. I have some definitions from Investopedia. What is investing is the act of allocating resources, usually money, with the expectation of generating an income or profit. So let's say that buying cryptocurrencies, Bitcoins, fits the definition because you are expecting to get a profit out of it. Then the difference between investing versus speculation. Okay, investing means less risk, speculation means a lot of risk. So from this point of view, Bitcoin fits more the definition of a speculation. Then the holding period of the investment. Here I cannot say anything. I don't know how many months or years the people owning cryptocurrencies are holding this. So this is a point open for debate. Usually an investment is 1 year plus. So you are expecting gains out of a longer period. Speculations is on a shorter period, so basically buying and selling very fast. Then the source of returns. Here let's say that the cryptocurrencies are more like a speculations because you only get, they don't have other associated streams of income or cash flow. You can get wins only from the value increase. Now a definition from Oxford Languages. Gambling means that playing games, when you play games of chance for money, you bet, you take risky actions in the hope of a desired result. So it might be that the so-called investment in cryptocurrencies also fits the real definitions of gambling. And another definition that I want to bring up is the definition of a Ponzi scheme. A Ponzi scheme is a form of fraud in which belief in the success of a non-existent enterprise is fostered by the payment of quick returns to the first investors for money invested by the later investors. Now, what's drawing the attention are the words non-existent enterprise. Basically, behind Bitcoin there is nothing. It has let's say like more definitions. What is it? When the people ask, it's called digital asset, digital gold, alternative money. When you take the normal currencies like euro, dollars, Great British pound, it doesn't matter. Behind those currencies there are real economies, countries that have GDPs. Most of the time the GDP is increasing, there is a population, there is a consumption, there is a market, you name it. So there is something behind the cryptocurrencies. There is absolutely nothing. They are just a convention. When trying to define a cryptocurrency, and I was thinking, how can I explain to people like maybe a kid or somebody who has no idea what that is, I thought first like maybe I can use the buttons like the ones my shirt has or something like that. But even then, if let's say at some moment in time we agree that my buttons are worth $50,000, euros or whatever, and then later you say it's worth $0 and the value drops of those buttons, I can still use them with their primary and original purpose as buttons on my shirt or whatever other piece of clothing I have. Maybe rocks would fit better the definition. You take a rock from the street or whatever, so a pebble, and you decide that together with more Now, at the beginning, maybe there were not so many people, but together with more people, you decide that it's worth $50,000, $60,000 or whatever, you name it. I clearly consider this is like a Ponzi scheme, a bubble. What is very interesting and nobody knows about it is how it would turn out in the future. It might be that it will stay here for long. Basically, the requirements are very simple. There needs to be always at least the same amount of people or more people interested in buying these things as the ones that are interested in selling it. Another similarities would be with gold or with the diamonds. They are also sort of bubble or Ponzi schemes. The only difference is, of course, that diamonds can be used in jewelry, so they have other purposes. Gold even has some industrial applications, is used in the electronics. Diamonds also. That's why I'm saying that it might be that this bubble, this crypto bubble or this Ponzi scheme, which are the cryptocurrencies, is here to stay for a longer period of time. Another advantage of the cryptocurrencies compared with the normal money is that at least for the Bitcoin, the amount is limited in time. So the guys are still mining for it, but it will be limited in the end. So it will not be like a normal currency that the national bank is producing more and more and more and printing more money, or the banks are giving credits and basically are producing inflation, because this is how it appeared. Some people were very pissed about the financial system, and they said like, okay, we have the normal money that the banks produce, and basically due to inflation it's losing value and we need something else. And it's even a bit better with most of the cryptocurrencies because they are gaining value over time, so not really losing value. Now, if we take a look at the evolution, there are not so many numbers because it's an asset having nothing behind it. There are not so many types of analysis and numbers into which we can look in order to assess it. Of course, I knew about it from around 2016. What fascinated me back then was basically the blockchain technology, so the cryptocurrency is not that much. I didn't invest in it. It happened. Nowadays, if you talk, everybody bought bitcoins with $2,000 or $3,000, and when you ask them why aren't they rich, yeah, but I didn't have that much money to invest, and so even though the price increased, I'm not rich because of it. The truth be told is that it reached peaks like at the end of 2007 of 20,000. Now in 2021, it went above $60,000. Somebody is also buying during these peak periods, otherwise the currency wouldn't reach these values. So yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that, for example, if you bought it at the end of 2017 with 20,000, then you had 3 long and painful years. If you held it till 2021, good for you. If you sold it, basically you accepted it's at a loss in the meantime, because the prices never reach 20,000 till let's say late 2020. Like any Ponzi scheme or this kind of speculations, it's important when you get in and when you get out. In order to maximize your profit, ideally you want to get in very early when the things are very cheap, and you want to get out just before it's crashing. Now we don't know what's going to happen in the next years, if it's going to crash, maybe not, maybe it will continue to go up. In 2021 it's been fueled by the Tesla and this guy Elon Musk. Basically they fit perfect. His company is overvalued as well, and he's investing in bitcoins. It's, from my point of view, it's a financial nightmare, but everybody seems to be very happy with it. And of course this guy's doing a lot of statements. Some are positive, some are negative, and the price is fluctuating. And basically he can do that because the market is not regulated. somebody was telling that maybe if the authorities find out that his friends or himself or relatives are selling and buying according to his declaration, maybe he will be charged with market manipulation. I have bad news for you. The cryptocurrencies market is in no way regulated, and anybody can say and do whatever they want. It's not like a stock exchange. You don't have a security exchange commission that's watching for market manipulations, for insider trading and things like this. Now, on March 24th, so Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, announced that you can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. Of course, the price exploded, yeah, because he's very popular for certain people, and everybody rushed into buying Bitcoins as well. Then in less than 2 months, on May 13th, 2021, he said that Tesla has suspended vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. We are concerned about rapid increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which has the worst emission of any fuel. Now, seriously, when he announced on March, the 24th of March, that you can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, he didn't know that especially the Bitcoin is consuming so much energy and so much fossil fuel and is not friendly to the environment. I think that somebody told him that, yeah, it's not a very good idea. We are selling cars which are supposedly friendly to the environment, but we are selling it with Bitcoins, which is not so friendly with the environment, and maybe he got second thoughts. I was thinking that, okay, now he's a CEO of Tesla since 2008, probably that will not happen, but what if he comes the next day and he says, I have just been informed that our beautiful cars, the Teslas, when you charge their batteries with the electricity from the electrical network, this electricity in the electrical network doesn't come from very ecological sources. I thought that it's mostly solar energy and wind energy and hydro energy and a little bit of thermal energy, but it turns out that it's still a lot of it is produced with fossil fuel, and that's not very helpful to the environment, and we have just decided to no longer produce the Teslas because they are not that ecological as everybody is thinking that they are. So basically this is I understand that he has to navigate somehow between the hype he's creating with his ecological cars, which are not really that ecological, and trying to figure ways of making money for the investors in Tesla, because he seems not to be able to do it by simply producing and selling cars. But still, I wish that this guy would never show up in the news anymore. But there are way too many people that are following him, and they think that he's like a tech genius. I think he's just a normal person that is getting a lot of publicity and undeserved publicity. Now, another problem with the Bitcoin and with the cryptocurrencies is that they are associated with criminality. They are widely used for money laundering, for dark web. Dark web is on the internet. You can buy illegal things like drugs and so on and so forth. They are used for fraud, for blackmail and extortion, for scamming and so on. I even got in 2022 emails from two persons that were trying to blackmail me. Long story short, they wrote there that they have some passwords. Probably they got it from real hackers that hacked into old websites which stored my passwords. The funny part was that the first one was asking me for about $1,000, if I remember correctly. And they were giving me $1,000 in Bitcoin, and they were giving me this sequence of numbers or letters, which is basically the address of a digital wallet. And the second email was asking me for $5,000, so they upped the game a little bit. But what I found really funny, and I was like very enthusiastic about it, is that they also sent me a link and they were trying to explain what Bitcoin is. And I said, look, they are trying, the extortionists, the people blackmailing me, they are also trying to educate me. Maybe somebody wrote an email back to them and they asked, what is a Bitcoin? And they thought of educating the people, because let's say that they also live in a bubble of information, and they think that if they invest, they gamble with this cryptocurrency and their world, and they are living behind computers and software and on the internet and so on. Everybody knows what cryptocurrency is, or a Bitcoin, or a digital asset, and so on and so forth. But it was very funny. Another story that appeared on BBC is about a victim of, this time Elon Musk didn't do anything, but some people used his name and let's say the brand of BBC. Basically, some lady from Great Britain paid $9,000 on a website that was saying the Elon Musk will double your Bitcoin investment in no time. And of course she lost the money. And I was thinking, like, first of all, Elon Musk. Yes, she's getting a lot of information about Elon Musk. Nobody says anything bad about this guy. Nobody says that his car company is not that good. Because it's not producing any profit since a lot of years. So she trusted, obviously she's a very versed investor, and she trusted the Elon Musk name, the brand. Then she doesn't know that maybe Tesla is pumping money in this Ponzi scheme called Bitcoin. So that would be another flag. Then you get a promise over internet with the BBC logo, and they tell you that they will double you the Bitcoin amount. So there are at least 4 or 5 red flags in this story, and to be honest, I don't feel sorry for her at all that she lost her money. The universe has a way of settling things, and yeah, I don't want to say more than that, but we talked in the previous presentation about this IQ distribution curves, that 85% of the people are not that bright. Here's a very good example. Now, about the blockchain technology, this presentation should have been 90% focusing on blockchain technology. It's the technology behind the Bitcoin currency. I was really interested in this, and I think that it will be a real advancement and very precious in the future. It's very simple. They are distributed ledgers, they are these chains, and every transaction comes as a new block, because it's binding with the previous transaction to these timestamps, and the idea is that it's very safe, and making changes is affecting the entire chain in the future. For example, in my profession, the auditors are very happy about it, because it can protect a company from fraud, and you can track the changes easily, and so on and so forth. But it has a lot of other applications, like in the smart contracts I'm writing here, the automated escrows. The information is on, you can find it on Wikipedia and on many other sources. In the financial services and banks, the back office settlements of transactions can happen faster. In the video games, in energy trading, supply chain management, in mining, basically all the assets that are physical and that are very precious, if you somehow can link with this blockchain technology, you can track who was the owner at some point in time of that asset, and how the owners changed, and so on and so forth. It's making it very difficult for counterfeiting from this point of view, but it also has applications in supply, in food supply, in shipping, in software development, in healthcare, domain names, distributed ledgers, decentralized voting, you name it. So this technology is amazing, and if you get your hands on a piece of information and do read about it, it will be very important in the future, I think. Now, the question is, if you are ready to invest in Bitcoin, I would say if you are ready to speculate on Bitcoin, or to gamble on Bitcoin, or to put your money in this Ponzi scheme that is called Bitcoin. It's very simple. You have the amount of money which you are eager to invest, let's say 10,000 euros, like Ms. Bushnell had. Okay, you need to imagine you have the money in front of you, and then they are gone. How do you feel about it? Was it hard to get that money? Did you have to give up on, did you give up on other things? Better clothing, better shoes, maybe your refrigerator is a disaster, maybe you wanted to buy a new TV set, or Did it take you like 10 years to save that money? Is it still okay to lose it? It's like, because it's like going in a casino and betting that money and losing it, or playing it at the lottery, or anything in this area. If you are okay with losing it and you feel safe, so you have basically money to lose, then you are safe and you can invest in Bitcoin. I'm still advising you not to use these sites which are doubling the number of Bitcoins, because that will be funny. But go ahead. And that was basically the last point I wanted to touch about the cryptocurrencies. I talked a little bit about the blockchain, about Bitcoins. There are others. I said Ethereum, Dogecoin. This guy Elon Musk is making statements and the prices are fluctuating. Nothing is regulated. If you are lucky, you buy low and you sell so you buy cheap and you sell expensive. Good luck with it, and I would like to thank you for your attention, and I hope to see you with my next presentation. Thank you very much.